Hello, so this is going to be a video on microgreens. This is going to actually be a two-parter. First part, I'm going to just introduce you to microgreens, explain what they are, why they're grown, how they taste, some of the basics. And then in the second video, we're going to go into lighting and some of the more intricate details and troubleshooting when you're growing these things. So the first thing is, what are microgreens? Microgreens are basically, they're vegetable greens. They're not to be confused with shoots or sprouts. They're not the same thing. And they're harvested just after the cotyledons or the embryonic leaves form, or even the first set of true leaves form on the vegetables. So basically, if you take a microgreen and you grow it, the first thing that you're going to want to know is how long do they take to grow. Well, depending on the microgreen that you're growing, and you can see I have a variety of seeds down here that I'm going to explain to you. It can be anywhere from 10 to 14 days is the average, but some of them take a little longer, and some of them I've had as quick as 7 to 8 days. So it's really just going to depend on what you're growing. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to go through some basic microgreens here that I grow and explain them to you a little bit, and then we'll just go from there. So in this container here, I have wheatgrass. Now, I don't know if some of you remember, but a while back there was this fad, especially in health clubs, of drinking wheatgrass shots, and that was the big craze. So they are healthy, these greens, but I'm gonna be honest, personal opinion, they taste terrible. I feed these to my chickens. So what I do is I grow these and then I use them as fodder for the chickens and for the rabbits. But anyways, if you want to grow these, you can find these online in bags of like anywhere from 1 pound to 25 pounds, and they're very simple to grow. You just basically soak them in water for a night, like 8 to 12 hours, and then you can put them in soil, or you can use like a soilless medium, which I'm going to go into that as well. So that's what these are. These are wheatgrass seeds. Then I'm going to skip these because these are different. These are basic salad mix, and what this is a mixture of kale, cabbage, broccoli, and a couple others they throw in there that I forgot, but this is probably the most common one you're going to see, and this is the one that I grow most often. Super easy to grow. It's a 7 to 10 day turnaround on these, and they're really easy, and they taste really good. So that's what these are. Now I'm going to go to these over here. These are wasabi mustard greens. These are very spicy. Same as the other ones, real easy to grow, 8 to 10 days, and super spicy, and you can add them to a lot of different things. Fish, they're really good with. And then I've got these, and these are beet seeds, and these can be grown as microgreens. In fact, I actually have some beets that are growing right over here, and they are a little trickier to grow than normal microgreens. And with these seeds, you're going to have to soak these seeds overnight before you plant them, and you have to really put these in dirt because they don't do very well in the soilless mediums that I'm going to go into. But basically these you just bury in dirt, but you want to soak these for 8 to 12 hours because they have hard shells on them, and the germination rate on these aren't going to be as high, but they do taste good, and they're very good for you. So that's what those are. And then these are radishes, radish seeds, and these are awesome. You can see I have a full cup of these. I like to grow these, so I really like the taste of radish. They're super good, and they grow real easy as microgreens, same as the other set of seeds. They're 8 to 10 day turnaround, and you can just put these right into dirt or a soilless medium. And next we're going to have carrot seeds, another good microgreen. I actually have some carrot greens here that I grew. These are super easy. They're really small seeds, but they're super easy to grow. You just throw them on a soilless medium is the best way, or you can put them in dirt, and they're simple, 8 to 10 days. And here are the greens from them. And these have been in my refrigerator for a while. I had actually forgot about them, and they've been in there for a good 2 weeks, and they're still actually good. But what's really cool about these is and you're going to find this with all microgreens, is that when you actually eat these, they're going to taste just like the adult version of the whatever it is you're growing. So these literally taste like a carrot. It's really kind of crazy. It's super fun to eat these, because then you're just like, wow, they really do taste like carrots. And, you know, like the radishes, they taste just like radishes, and etc. So next we're going to move on to sunflower seeds. These are specifically called black oil sunflowers, and these grow real easy. You know, they're simple to grow. They don't do well on the soilless mediums, the mats that I'm going to show you here. They actually do better in dirt, and you do want to soak these overnight before you put them in dirt to get them going quicker. But these are good. You can throw these in a salad. They're very easy to grow, just like normal sunflowers are. And I eat these all the time as well. And we're almost done. So then I'm going to move on to a new one that's a little bit different than the other ones. This is actually popcorn. And popcorn microgreens, I got to tell you, when I grew these the first time, I was like blown away that a green can taste just like the adult version, you know, like I told you, but these taste just like corn when you grow the shoots. These are more like shoots than they are microgreens, to be honest. So that's why I put these last, because with these, you want to actually grow these in the dark, and you don't want photosynthesis to start, because when that happens, these get bitter. Otherwise, they're super sweet. So these, same thing, they have a pretty good germination rate, and they'll be ready to go in 7 to 8 days. So these are really fun to grow, and a new way to try to eat corn. So moving on here, how do I grow them? Well, I explained to you the process here. With some of them you soak, some of them you don't. The way I've been doing it is I have these 10-inch by 20-inch trays here. You've seen these. These are very common. You can find them in most stores. And I have these trays, right? And then what I did was I used to grow just in soil or cocoa coir, which is a soilless. It's basically ground up coconut and husk and things like that, but it's not actually dirt. But what I found was that these mats, even though they cost a little bit of money, I mean, they can be a little pricey. These are about $1 a mat here, a little less. Not for the small ones, but for the full 10-inch by 20-inch, they're about $1 a piece, unless you buy bulk like I do. But these are called jute, and jute mats are really cool. They're just a material. It's kind of like hemp, and you can put most microgreen seeds directly onto this, and they will root into this. And all you do is you put water in these trays, and these soak up the water, and then the seeds will grow directly onto these. It's real clean, and they're super easy, and I found that my yields are actually a lot higher than when I actually try to grow in dirt, which some of them you still have to, like the bigger seeds. Basically, the bigger seeds and the ones that have hard shells are the ones that I found don't do well with these mats. And what happens is they grow, but they don't like root into the mat for some reason. It's only like the small ones. But luckily, most microgreens are smaller seeds. So anyways, why would you grow these versus just growing the regular vegetable? Well, the first thing is the nutritional value. Multiple studies have been done through universities, through Department of Agriculture in regards to microgreens, and they've tested the levels of nutrients and vitamins in microgreens, and they are anywhere from 4 times to 25 times higher in nutrient content density versus the adults. that you know, when you compare the two. So nutrient density is huge with these. So you get more bang for your buck with these, and you know, basically an ounce of these is going to have way more nutrients than an ounce of the adult version. So that's the first reason to grow these. Just for health reasons alone, they're worth it. Secondly, the taste profile. The taste profile on these things are amazing. Like I said, they have a lot of taste. They taste just like the adult version, and you know, the turnaround time is another one, big one. You know, 8 to 10 days, 14 days at most. Sometimes you can let them sit in the trays longer. I'll also let them sit for up to 2 weeks, and I'll just cut them as I need them, kind of thing. But these things, they grow real fast. They're clean, and truthfully, when I measure the amount of effort and expense that goes into my garden here in Arizona, these things actually probably cost me less money to grow than the actual vegetables that I grow outside, because as anybody who garden knows, it can be tricky out here. So I really like these because they're just quick and they taste really good. And if you go to buy these, first of all, if you can even find them, they're really expensive. Because a lot of people that grow these, they go into a specialized niche business and they sell the trays for ridiculously high amounts of money, and they go to chefs. Chefs use them as garnishments and that kind of thing. So they're cheap to grow if you just grow them on your own. Yes, there's some expenses involved, and yes, we're gonna second part I'm gonna talk about lighting and a couple other nuances. But overall, like I said, when I compare the cost of growing outside and all the unknown variables, here with these things, I can control all my variables, and I can, you know, and they're easy. So that's the main reason why I like microgreens. And as far as where to buy them at, I actually have a website up now, and I have seeds for sale, but I don't have these up yet. But I'm going to have microgreens for sale, and my prices are going to be just as good as the big guys. But you know, you can find them online fairly easy, and you know, they're not super expensive. But to go into the final part, I'm going to talk about how you put them on these mats. And this part here is kind of going to be more experimental, and you're just going to get it through trial and error. But you'll notice with some of these seeds, like, you know, you practice different spacing of the seeds when you lay them out on the mats here or in the soil, and you'll find that when they start growing in clusters, that sometimes they do better when they're more spaced apart, and some of them do just fine when they're clumped together. And so really it's just going to depend on the seed. And all I'm going to do here, just to give you a quick example with these jute mats, is I'm just going to sprinkle these on here. So this is the basic salad mix. I'm going to flatten the mat out as best I can here. And all I'm going to do is just sprinkle them out and try to spread them pretty dense, about like this. I'll do a close-up here when I'm finished. And once that's done, I'm going to spare you. I'm not going to show myself planting all these. I'll do that in the next video. But basically, I'm just about finished here to show you the spacing on these. And this is the basic salad mix. So like I said, they're all a little different, but this is about what I've found works the best with these. And you're going to find this with most of the smaller seeds. This is about the spacing you're going to use. So if I go a little closer, so about like that. And then what you're going to do is, actually I did it backwards. You should put water in the tray first and soak these mats before you do this. But I just wanted to get it going here because we're already like 15 minutes in. But that's it right there. So really you would just put some water in the trays, just enough to soak these mats. And then another thing that you don't see here that you should have is a spray bottle with water. And actually with the water you can add a slight amount of hydrogen peroxide, and I'm going to explain that in the next video. But anyways, there's your introduction to microgreens, and I hope this helps some of you. And please do subscribe to the channel because I'm going to have a lot more informational videos going up. So thanks a lot and have a good week.